Ben Allnut's farm in the state of Maryland looks different than it did a few years ago. With warmer weather, the strawberries ripen earlier.
Over a period of 30-some years I've been doing this, things have moved up about 10 days or so. We can start picking strawberries the 12th of May.
Rhubarb, a New England crop that likes cooler weather, withers on a narrow patch of his 270 acres. Allnut says he will phase out the crop next year. Instead, he concentrates on Texas crops like blackberries that thrive in warmer weather. Global warming is changing his family farm, as well as the world's food supply.
You're probably looking at worldwide crop declines.
Scientists like Jay Goolage of the Pew Center on Global Climate Change predict the atmosphere will warm 2 to 3 degrees Celsius by mid-century. Developing countries below the equator are expected to be hardest hit because their temperatures are already extremely hot.
Poor countries already having their agriculture at the edge, and so you warm it up a little bit and you can kill those crops.
Africa is the main worry of Dr. Cynthia Rosenzweig, considered America's foremost expert on climate change and agriculture. So when you're talking Africa, what types of food products are we referring to, and how will we see that affect globally?
Maize, soybeans in particular, and annual crops that are also and determinate crops, which only flower once. Warmer temperatures speed those crops through their growth cycle, and there just isn't enough time for them to make very much grain.
Legumes like beans and peanuts are not affected as much because the plants flower multiple times. So if a heat wave occurs during one flowering, the crops recover in the next. Scientists recommend that farmers adapt in several ways. One is to readjust their planting schedules. When Allnut discovered that his strawberries were ripening earlier, he decided to plant this entire field of Italian strawberries, which actually mature a month later. Scientists also recommend that farmers install double irrigation systems, just like this one. Global warming adds other problems. Hotter temperatures prompt the growth of insects. They also reproduce faster with increased carbon dioxide levels. Humidity can bring on diseases, and global warming enhances a farmer's pet peeve: weeds.
There have been some new weeds that have come in, just some strange things. This is Canadian thistle, and it is spiny. Well, see how deep they are?
Carbon dioxide increases the growth of...
Margaret Walsh edits a climate report issued by the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Weeds respond a lot to elevated atmospheric carbon dioxide. They grow faster, they grow hardier, and they're more resistant to the herbicides that are used to control them.
Global warming is expected to cause more food shortages and higher prices, leading to more hunger worldwide. Do we need global legislation?
Yes, we do, without a doubt. What we do when we reduce greenhouse gas emissions is to reduce the long-term risk of how warm and how extreme those climate changes will be, not just the temperature rise, but also those droughts and floods.
But so far, only the European Union has laws to limit carbon emissions, which produce a greenhouse effect. On Monday, the U.S. Senate voted to begin debate on similar legislation. Carolyn Presutti, VOA News.